Hello and welcome to another episode of Wildness and Wellbeing. I'm Tim Jones, also known as Adventure Yeti, and today I'm with my friend Marie Wemme, who is an outdoor enthusiast. She loves travelling and she's just finished an epic Camino hike. Hey Marie, how's it going?
Hey Tim, doing good. Really glad to be here. Thank you for having me. It's quite exciting. My first podcast interview.
Nice, awesome. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Have you? So I guess my first question for you is: have you always been into the outdoors?
No, I haven't always been into the outdoors. It probably started with the Camino actually. So 14 years ago, I hiked my first Camino. So for anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's a pilgrimage in the north of Spain. It's a 500-mile hike.
Wow.
Um, and that was something that really appealed to me when I was 20 years old. And I was at a point in my life where I was a bit unhappy with, what I was studying, and I was still living back home with my parents. And I wasn't really happy with that. And I saw something about it on TV, and I read a book about it as well. And it just sparked such a desire in me to get out there and do a long hike. And it seemed so exotic to me.
Yeah.
I'd never been to Spain before. And so that was actually my first really big experience with the outdoors, just being on a hike for a month straight. And walking every day, being outside in nature every day. And so I didn't grow up with it really. It had to grow in me that I to start liking hiking, and it was just not something I did as a child.
When you say you kind of were at a difficult point of your life, was that just kind of what was going on with work and stuff, or was there other things going on, like with your mental health and things like that?
So back then I was at university, and I was studying something I didn't enjoy. And I was living in my hometown with my parents, and I just felt a bit stuck and not really living out my full potential. And
Yeah.
I felt a bit lost, I didn't really know what I wanted. And so that hike, the Camino, felt like a great opportunity to get out of my everyday life, and just experience something completely new, meet new people, and just grow as a person as well.
Yeah.
And it was a physical challenge, since I've never really hiked before. So it was so many things. And for sure, it was a mental challenge. And mentally, I was probably also not at the best point. Like I said, I was, kind of unsure what I wanted, not very confident about myself, just not very happy with, where my life was going. And this was amazing in terms of my mental health to go on this hike, because I had to push myself. I learned a lot about myself on the hike. I realized I can actually do a lot more than I thought I could. I'm capable of being in other countries and communicating in a language I don't know, and that I'm completely fine being away from home. So I developed a lot more confidence through that,
Nice.
and I was at a I did change my life after that, and I left home and changed universities, and all of that.
So I know you said you didn't really hike before.
Mm-hmm.
How did you did you prepare for it, or did you just literally just get your backpack and just go?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
No, I didn't prepare much. I mean, my hometown has great hiking trails. I never made use of them. um, so I did a handful of hikes just before I left, but not too much, to be honest. Um, I had complete confidence that I could do this hike, just because of it's something that I really, really wanted, and I never wanted anything more in my life before, like just to do this hike and make it till the end.
Yeah.
So I felt like I had enough willpower to do it, and no matter my physical abilities, I knew I could push through. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And that's a great thing about hiking is that you can go your own pace,
Yeah.
and you get stronger as you go on, and it's I would say it's relatively gentle sport where you can
Yeah.
take breaks at any point, and yeah, it was just amazing to see that I can hike for 5 weeks, and before that I never hiked much really.
Wow. What was the biggest challenge?
So I think it was more mentally challenging than physically. That's not to say that it wasn't physically challenging, because I did get blisters on the first day, so it was still tough physically. But then just to stay focused on your goal, I guess, and keep pushing on every day, even when it's hard or when it's feels a little bit tedious sometimes. But you've got that end destination in mind, and that keeps you going. And another thing I remember is that at first I just wanted to get there as quickly as possible, and I had to learn to just enjoy where I was at the time, and
Be present.
yeah, enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
And I learned that towards the end, when suddenly I didn't want it to finish. And so all these mental lessons was the hardest, but also the best part about it. So yeah, keep pushing on when things get hard, and remember to be in the present and enjoy the journey. That was really what I've learned from it.
And you did this, and then you decided that you were going to do it again, except this time you were going to do it way longer. Is that right?
Yes, that's about right. So I've done the Camino a few more times in the last 10 years. So
How many times have you done it?
So now I've done it 5 times.
Oh my, wow.
But
I
yeah,
didn't realise, I thought you'd only done it twice.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I got a little bit addicted to it. It's weird, but it is actually quite common that a lot of people I met on the Camino get addicted to it, and they just want to keep doing it. And because there's so many different routes,
Okay, yeah.
it's just quite interesting that to walk different routes through Spain and
Yeah.
Europe.
What's the biggest kind of draw to it? What makes it so addictive, do you think?
It's, I think, so specifically in Spain on the Camino, it's so popular. So there's, you've got a great community out there on the trail, and it just feels amazing that you're all in this together. You meet so many people every day. You find your Camino family, and you make really great connections, and sometimes friends for life. I mean, I've made some really close friends. But also, I think the other thing is the simple lifestyle that you live, really going back to the basics on the Camino. It's just about walking, eating, and sleeping, pretty much, and socializing, I guess. But yeah,
Just basic human, in like
yeah,
going back to the
yeah, you leave kind of modern life behind where you're, in the rat race, or you're
Yeah.
bombarded with uh so many things every day. And yeah, I really felt I you're kind of in a bubble there. So it just feels nice to have that for some time. um yeah, and the first time I did it was before I had a smartphone, so I was really disconnected still
Yeah.
from friends and family and just the normal world, I guess.
Wow.
So it was a really good experience. Yeah.
So was the latest Camino you did, was that the longest one you've done?
Yes. So the latest one I did was 3.5 months.
Okay.
So I just returned from that about a month ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Um, yeah. So I walked from Germany to Spain, and I started near Munich, so
Yeah.
on the very south of Germany. And then I crossed all of Switzerland and France, and then the north of Spain again. And so yeah, that was my longest walk, and yeah, the
How
most
how many
yeah.
how many miles was that?
I only know in kilometers.
Oh, do K, do K. We can do K.
Uh-huh. So it was 2,500 kilometers.
Okay.
Um,
That's a long way.
it is. It's a lot. Yeah. 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 I know. It was.
Whether it's in miles or kilometers, that's a long way, you know. So
It was long.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it didn't even, I didn't even plan it for very long. Just decided on it 2 months before I left for it. And yeah, I was, I don't know, I was just completely confident that I can do that, um, and that it's going to be a great experience.
What percentage would you say is mental and what percentage is physical?
Oh, hmm I would say 60% mental, 40% physical. Um, because I did have a lot of physical struggles, more than I ever had before. And I had to push harder mentally, more than I ever
Yeah.
had to push before. So mentally, I had to be a lot stronger actually than physically to keep going till the end. Um, and so it's, gosh, it's such a great teacher actually. Going on a long walk like that taught me so many lessons, and resilience, and patience with myself, and knowing when to rest and just sleep a night over it, and then things look better the next day. And yeah, and I had different experiences of the way. So at first I was mostly alone first month. So that was even harder to keep, to motivate myself every
Yeah.
day. And towards the end, I was surrounded by quite a lot of people, and I had a lot of help as well. So it was a completely different experience. And then, oh, I have to say that made things a lot easier, knowing that I could share some of the hardships and with other people, and the mental and the physical challenge of it. I could share that with other people, made things so much easier. And yeah.
I guess that's almost like a lesson for everyday life, really. It's good to
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, the way was like life intensified. Like I was I was going through ups and downs every single day. And I find, in life you go through ups and downs. And sometimes it goes over several months that you have an up, and then maybe
Yeah.
you're down again. And on the trail, it felt just a lot more intense. And um, challenges you had to overcome, and then incredibly positive experiences you had in the next minute, perhaps, like a little bit exaggerated now, but yeah, within the same day, I could be, extremely happy and then down again. And so it was very intense and just a lot of lessons I could learn from that. Yeah.
What did you do kind of when you finished it? I mean, what were your emotions?
Okay, when I finished, I was relieved. I was at a point where I felt like, yeah, I've walked enough.
Yeah.
And extremely relieved as well that, I've made it all this way, like, 3 months, and just felt really proud of myself as well.
Totally.
Because I had so many situations where I wanted to quit and I couldn't see myself making it. And so actually making it till the end felt like a huge accomplishment. And
yeah,
so really, really good feeling.
What stopped you from quitting in those moments?
I feel like I had to really go deep into myself sometimes and think about, is it worth quitting just because I feel bad right now? Maybe I just need to take a rest. And that's what I usually did. I stopped walking. I took a rest usually. So I feel like slowing down helped me both physically and mentally. I could do a lot of lessons that I learned from meditation in the past. So I went back to some of that, like whenever I was in pain, I tried to not judge that as something bad, but actually just observe it and accept it as a sensation. It was the slowing down, and sometimes I went off the trail and found a nice quiet path, like an alternative path I could take, and where I just then felt really connected with nature and really enjoyed myself again. So I found ways to make it work for me, but just, to sum it up, like slowing down.
I think that's a lesson for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Today's fast-paced life, it's just so important to just stop for a minute, know when it's time to rest, to check in, and to play on those tools like meditation. So have you wound down from doing this absolutely crazy journey?
I feel like I haven't wound down yet, because I basically kept on traveling since then. I've been visiting some friends I made on the Camino, and I kind of kept the momentum going a bit, actually.
Nice.
So that's been nice. But I do now feel like I want to maybe sit down somewhere in peace and quiet and reflect a bit more on it. And actually write in my journal that I took with me. And I learned so much on the walk, and I want to document that in a way. So writing will be my way to wind down, I think. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone that's considering embarking on the Camino?
I would say don't have any expectations and don't make too many plans. So be completely open to what the Camino offers to you, because you will meet so many people there's going to be so many opportunities in how you can grow. And it's good to just go there and have an open heart and just start walking and not plan it out too much.
Yeah.
That's really the best way. I never really plan much, you know. I just take it day by day when I'm on the walk. And, you know, this time I took some breaks from walking, like spontaneous breaks from walking, because I met some people on the walk that I wanted to hang out with for a couple days. You know, things like that can happen. And I feel like it's good to be open for that.
Nice. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Marie, for taking your time to talk to me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
How can people find out about your adventures and follow your adventures?
Oh, Instagram would be the best way. My handle is Marie Wemme, all spelled together. So that's MARIEWEMME, all one word.
Fantastic.
So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Marie.
Thank you.